In this video, I will show you how to solve compound inequalities. And what I'm going to do is solve inequalities that are called and inequalities and or inequalities, and I will also graph my solutions. So if you notice the top three problems here, what right away looks different from the bottom three questions would be that the bottom three actually say the letter or, say the word or, and notice how the top ones are two inequalities combined right together. Those are going to be your and inequalities. So if you don't see the word or, it's going to be an and, especially when you see them in between here. So x in the middle of two inequalities, here x in the middle of two inequalities, that's going to be an and. So for the top left question here, if I'm going to solve my inequality, notice how this is just slightly different than solving an equation, because when you solve an inequality, because you have two of them working together, when you solve, you have to solve both at the same time. So if I want to isolate my letter x, I need to obviously get it alone by adding 4. But because this is a compound inequality, you need to add 4 to both of your inequalities. So you want to add 4 to each side. So to your top inequality and then your bottom inequality. So now my x is going to get isolated in the middle. And it is going to be less than the number 3. And at the same time, greater than or equal to positive 1. So here's what my solution is going to look like in terms of a graph. So if I draw a number line, and I put 0 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, the solutions for this inequality that's working together, the compound inequality, I would circle the number 1 and shade it in, circle the number 3 and not shade it in, because notice how this does not say equal to. And if I have a compound inequality, my answers are numbers that are greater than or equal to 1 and at the same time less than 3. So it'd be all the numbers in between 1 and 3, inclusive of 1, not inclusive of 3. Okay, here's another one. Again, we're going to solve, but you want to solve to both of your inequalities at the same time. So again, I'm going to start with an add 4, but to both sides. And now what I'm going to have is my 3x in the middle. So I'm just copying my symbols down. Now 14 plus 4 is going to give me 18 for the right side. Negative 2 plus 4 is going to give me positive 2 for the left. Now, if I want to solve for x, I need to divide both sides by 3. So divide my 18 by 3 and my 2 by 3. So my inequality is going to be 2/3 is less than x, or you could say x is greater than 2/3, and at the same time less than 6. I'm going to put out my number line. Here's the number 0. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, roughly 6 would be over there. Now 2/3 is a little less than 1. It's that decimal 0.6 repeating, so just in between 0 and 1. So there's my 2/3. I'm going to go ahead and circle that number. I'm also going to circle the number 6, but notice how there's not an equal to, so I'm going to leave those open, and then I will shade in the middle. Okay, now for this question over here, if I want to isolate my x, what I need to do is first get rid of the divide by 9. So I'm going to multiply my middle by 9, my right by 9, and the left by 9. So then that's going to get rid of that fraction. So negative 3 times 9 is negative 27. That's less than or equal to 6 minus x, which is also less than or equal to at the same time 3 times 9, or 27. That's positive. So now if I want to solve for my x, I need to isolate it. So I'm going to subtract 6 from each side, okay, both of those inequalities. So now my x will be isolated in the middle. It is negative, but that's okay. We can fix that. I'm just copying down my signs. Negative 27 minus 6 more is negative 33, and 27 minus 6 is 21. And now because I have negative x, I need to divide by -1. And don't forget, if you multiply or divide by a negative, your signs are going to flip directions. So 21 divided by -1 is -21. And -33 divided by -1 is now +33. But really what this would be in the correct order, notice the smaller number goes on the left, so left side is lower, left side is lower. So now if I reorder it, so my left side is lower, -21 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 33. So notice how my signs are opening up towards 33, opening up towards 33, pointing at 21, pointing at that 21. So now here's my number line. -21, 0, +33. What I'm going to put is a circle around -21 and shade it in because of this equal to line here. A circle on 33 and shade it in, again because of that equal to there. And I want the numbers in between. So your answers are any number in between there, inclusive of that. So those are 3 examples of your and compound inequalities.